We got combo breaker. Let's go ahead and jump right into this, man. Game of number 1 is the red team versus the green team. Let's see who's about to get mean.
All right, so it looks like we got we got Snake and Corn on the red team. Unfortunately, we got Red Joker on the green team because they like to challenge us, but that's okay.
Yep, they're gonna make us work for our money for this first one, but that's all right. I like the ledge play right here. Of course, Inkling just holding down that projectile. If nothing else, got to get the opponents covered. They're going to take a little bit more damage when I get my hands on them.
Now, you see, Snake against Inkling is a very volatile matchup in Inkling's favor. Meanwhile, Snake Joker is kind of the opposite. So it's going to be really difficult for Snake to kind of like maintain where he wants to be in neutral and really make sure he's not fighting Inkling in too many 1v1s because that matchup gets really tricky.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So I think it's just all about picking your points, positioning carefully when you play a character like Snake. And, of course, movement isn't really his best friend. Big, easy target, and you have issues like this where he just cannot land properly.
Yeah, even right now. He's been midair for like almost 30 seconds.
Man.
But yeah, both members of the red team going to go down in one fell swoop.
Yeah, and it's really crazy to even think that a character like Snake can be outboxed. Frame 3 jab, frame 4 F tilt. I mean, you know, Dare is, I think the first off, but Dare might actually be frame 3. I mean, he's armed to the T, but Inkling is just filthy.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like the red team has been doing a lot of like 1v1s, and it's starting to work out a little bit. We're starting to see some of those Corrin kills, especially that up air. That move is so underrated in this meta. That move is insane.
So I'm so glad you brought it up, man. After watching Shattuck and Nail play so much, I mean, you really get to see just like platform control with those aerials on Corrin's side. Again, just being able to bait out an air dodge, being able to swing carefully too. If I'm not mistaken, forward air and up air are both pretty damn safe on shield.
Oh yeah, both great on shield. Honestly, I don't think there is a sour spot on up air. Like if you hit it, you got it. It's, you know, it's the Ike treatment.
Right. It hits or it don't.
Now, what's happening here is Inkling has been stock tanking really hard, which not that heavy of a character, so you don't see this often, but wow. Lil Uzi Vert over here is going crazy. 146 on the first stock, still getting berries and big punishes. Finally going to die there, but definitely got like the most mileage they could out of that first stock.
Oh yeah, the biggest bang for their buck right there. And of course, just still attacking all the pressure. Eyes locked in on Snake, and for good reason. And you know you got a little bit of a matchup advantage, especially in doubles where Snake can't really stay too still. I mean, you got to take it and cash it out at the bank. There's that up air. Of course, you leave your feet, you're going to lose your seat right here on the stage. Green team going up in a big way.
Yeah, green team's looking really strong, and unfortunately, we're gonna see a team kill there. So now Snake forced to make a 2v1 with 4 stocks, and one of them being one of his worst matchups. So this is looking great for the green team.
Okay, gonna go for the back air.
Nice.
Up tilt, of course. A little bit easier to toss those around. Not that there's one less person on the screen, you know. Not to worry about hitting your teammate. On the way back down. A Snake that knows how to land is a Snake that's going to live a while, man. Shout out to Hurt. After what I seen at Battle of BC, I'm like, yo, if Snake doesn't get punished on the way down, he's the best character in the game.
Oh, yeah. Like, the way he played Sparkle the first time I saw that match, I was like, yo, Hurt really is him. Like, he's insane.
No, that's big facts. Air ball. Unfortunately, cannot make it back to the ledge. Right option. Fortunately, just execute it a little bit off the mark there. Green team gonna go up.
Yeah, you think you're a fastballer. Go ahead and try that with Snake. Like even with full Cypher, and the air dodge, there was no way. But honestly, that's one of those games where it might almost be worth to just run off and just not even let the other team get the momentum. So yeah, tough call there. Hopefully they switch colors around for this. But other than that, yeah, Inkling Joker, interesting team. I wouldn't put them in the category of like the strongest doubles team.
Sure.
But individually, if they're focused on like 1v1s, both characters are really good in that scenario.
Without question. I think, you know, in the 1v1 sense, we get to see Joker just really, you know, use that Nair. You know, -5 on shield, very safe. Going to challenge even some of the quickest characters in the game on what the answer back, what the rebuttal is in neutral with that. I'm also looking at more of like a disrupting sort of play style as well too, which I think would really get under Snake's skin because it's not a matter of how many times he's pressing the B button. It's like when he's deciding to do it.
Right.
You know, and again, if I just gun you from across the screen and you can't get your grenades going properly, that gets under Snake's skin. And then of course, just having a projectile versus a sortie is just already an advantage because now they have to physically come get you. So using a long range game and maybe even, bro, the footwork too. I mean, it goes without saying, there's no tread on Joker's Chelsea boots.
No.
That young man can slide around.
That man is moving through Manhattan. No problem.
Without question.
Wherever he needs to be. He does a lot of hurt box shifting too.
Yes.
That's one of the things I've always disliked about dealing with Joker is that he is like the skinny legend in this game. Like you will whiff if you're not super on the ball.
Reminds me of Oscar Proud in The Prophet where he stood to the side and disappeared. I don't know why he just stepped to where'd Joker go?
He can rub his ankles and start a fire.
Oh,
like this is where Joker is at. So.
Proud snacks. There's the down throw, of course. No mix-up. Looking just for some safe damage, and at this percent, I think it's probably your best interest to look for that. Again, playing a little too overzealous kind of got the red team punished in that first game. Right now, they're playing a little bit more safe despite the small deficit here.
And we're seeing some good efforts here. We're seeing Snake kind of like break up a little bit of the chaos, which is really good. That's not exactly what you normally see from him, at least physically. So that's a good start. But again, both members of green team, with still a red Joker, are still on their first stocks here. And it's not looking too different from the previous one.
No, not at all. I think, again, the green team just kind of has this very movement-heavy sort of play style, and most importantly, on top of that, just coupled with the fact that they can just disrupt, you know, and just move the red team out of position. Positioning is obviously huge for Snake, as you can see right now, in an unfavorable position, trying to get back to ledge, but same can be said for Corn. I want to swing as safely as possible. I know I don't, speed-wise, outswing most opponents, so I'm trying to keep you out of my bubble. And unfortunately, if I just keep getting moved out of place, I'm going to struggle.
Yeah, one thing we're seeing really come alive in this game, Roller was a pretty big problem in the last game. This one, no different. I feel like there's been a couple scenarios where, like, Corn's been buried with Roller, and Snake just doesn't really have the ground speed to do a lot about it.
Right.
And we're seeing some stocks lost pretty early there.
And it's tough, too, because, like, even when you want to, like, deal with it or, like, get your teammate out of it, you have to – I almost feel like you have to commit. You have to dash attack into the chaos now, which is like in a 1v1, dash attack, chef's kiss. And even in 2v2s, I would probably look highly upon Snake's dash attack. But like in a spot where I'm being forced to use it, I don't want to use dash attack.
Yeah, you know? Yeah. Very punishable if you're wrong.
Yeah.
So, a little bit of a closer game here. Corn's going to have to do a lot of stock tanking. That's not impossible for her. If she wants to continue playing defensive and just doing a lot of like retreating up airs and stuff like that, she can be pretty hard to pin down, no pun intended. And as we say that, bam, we got the stocks even.
That's right. We'll see how long it lasts right now. Lil Uzi Vert right here. So I just want to rock. And they are rocking and rolling in a major way. Nice gets a kick. And for the first time, and what feels like forever, the red team has this lead. Now, I want to see what they're going to do to hold on to it, because we talked beautifully about how important stock tanking was on the green team. But now that stock tank has been equalized, been neutralized. Now you get to see, I believe it's Bonty, the snake, right? No, Crunchy. Yeah, Crunchy the snake. I don't know who's who. Sorry.
Yeah,
the Crunchy Bounty snake, the bountiful snake. Okay.
Captain Crunchy Bounty.
That's right. Has a lead and now gets to expend a stock just to keep her teammate alive.
Yeah, and that's what I was afraid of. Is like having to share when Snake is already at these high percents is tough. But especially with characters like Joker, who can just find a back air, even at like low to mid percents, and really set up for a lot. But we do have a stock lead here. Snake is going to have to fight very hard to stay alive. Great coverage from his teammate to stay in here. And now we see Joker really on his last legs here, and a lot of work to do on this Corn.
Yes, there is quite a bit of work to do, but I'd almost argue, man, it's going to be the Snake that's going to get this job. Yep, I could feel it coming. I said it's something about you got your Chelsea boots on, I got my combat boots on. We're not the same.
You see homegirl whipping the camera? She said, like, so I'm gonna assume she's the Snake player.
Right. So I whip and rest assured, I nay.
Yeah.
That exact order.
I feel like the green team's game plan was pretty strong throughout, but red team really locked in and just started surviving those scrambles a lot more.
Yeah.
Especially starting to break those up more with dash attack or even just like a grenade to like keep your teammate alive. So very close fought battle, but now we have ourselves a 1-1 scenario. Good,
which is really great. I think both sides, of course, going to work for that lunch money. But to add to what you said, too, another issue, I think that, I'm saying issue very sparingly here. It'd be an issue for somebody whack like me on the sticks. But I think another thing to take into consideration with Inkling and Joker is that they aren't the same character throughout the majority of the match. And I think the other side kind of picked up on that. Oh, you're out of ink. Time to kick your butt. Oh, you're out of meter. And Joker's still a very strong character. But do you really want to see Snake and Corn in a dark alley when it's raw joke? I don't know.
Right.
And when you got Arson, it's a little different. And I think they started to realize, okay, we might not be the stronger of the two combinations all throughout the course of the match. But when they don't have their tools set up, that's what we can hold forward. And it works.
Yeah, that's a very good way to approach this matchup. I also think they stayed a little bit closer together. Like, towards the end of that, we started seeing some team combos. Like, I think I saw, like, a Corn back air into, like, a Snake up tilt. So they definitely just need to stay close together and near the center, and whatever comes to them is just going to have to come to them.
That's right.
But as long as one of them is around in case the other one gets buried, that's going to do wonders for them just throughout the set.
100%, 100%. Also, I'm not seeing a lot of team combos on the side of the green team, and that's not a shot at their gameplay. Phenomenal gameplay. I mean, the 2-1v1 thing is definitely working, and how could it not when it's Inkling Snake?
Right.
However, it's starting to kind of dissipate a little bit. I want to see what the change-up is going to be, because at this point in time in the match, you ain't really got no choice but to change.
Speaking of changes, we have a huge switch here, switching off the Joker to Steve instead, which, again, we're going from a high tier to a top tier, so no really wrong time to ever do that. But switching in Game 3 can be really challenging for your teammates, or for your opponents, because, like, they have to adapt to a whole new meta, and you've been the same characters the whole time.
Well, yeah, well, let's see how polished this Steve is. I mean, of course, Steve is a very strong character. Can play a multitude of different roles, I think, in doubles as well, too. Can be the aggressor, can be the tank, you know, can be whatever it is that they need to be. But that all comes down to if you're well poised and polished with this character. I think sometimes the misconception is that how broken a character is that anybody can just pick him up. And that's just not the case at all.
I think one thing we've seen that's helped a lot, too, Corrin is really, really focused on the Inkling, which is what I said from the beginning, but, like, watching the air interactions and seeing just how outclassed Inkling is in this matchup is helping a ton. Yeah,
100% too. And also, you know, it's kind of building up that wall versus a disjointed character, or even characters that move quick like Sonic can kind of get up underneath Steve's skin. Now, mind you, it's very few and far between on the things that can get up underneath Steve's skin, but, you know, characters like Corrin, characters like Sonic can definitely do that.
Yeah.
So you're not going to be able to break away and stand behind the wall and just mine for free. I will pin through the chaos.
So now we got ourselves stocks even here. Again, both the first two matches were very volatile, so it's good to have a more even one here. Uzi really not winning this 1v1 very well. Gonna have to mix it up. Gonna have to try to, like, force Snake to, like, play their game a little bit. And we're seeing it now. Of course, he got the Booyah. Not enough to kill, especially on Hollow Bastion, but still some pretty good damage.
Oh, and then parries the frame 3 jab right there. Very, very risky gameplay you're playing when you're fighting against Snake up close. Just walks up. Gonna go for the F tilt smart. No! This is nasty work.
Yeah, that was a really young stock. I think she was at like 47 before that stock was taken. So we're still not too out of this just yet, but that's definitely going to be a huge detriment to the red team. Let's see if they can clean things up, and let's see if Corrin can kind of play a little bit more passive and just not necessarily take these trades.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, you just need a hit of just pure resiliency, pure finesse, if you will. You know, you just cannot expend any damage in a trade. Whoa! Wait a minute. He said, I pin and I might just win, damn it. We are even in these stocks back up.
Yeah, that was insane. Snake, pretty high percents. Got to be really careful, especially with a character like Steve. I mean, so many great options. A frame 7 F smash is unheard of, especially for how strong it is.
It's absolutely just insanity. It's smart on him to go for that frame 4 F tilt, at least the first hit. Just, again, I need safe options, and most importantly, I need strong options, too. I could go for standing jab. It's quick, but is it worth it? Probably not in the grand scheme of things, but right now, Steve all by their lonesome. Crafting table.
No materials either. You got to take the stock ASAP, because this can get bad fast. Both these characters rack up so much damage so quickly.
Oh, slides into the DM.
Nice.
Oh, my goodness.
All right. So, technically in the lead in percent, very bad stage positioning and absolutely no material. So, Steve has to find like a weird confirm just to get Corrin off. Tries to mix it up with the Elytra. I respect the attempt, but this edge guard is insane.
Oh, my goodness. And just takes a bite out of the opponent and moves on to the next portion of winners.
Man,
I think they're asking. It's not best of 5, homies. It's best of 3.
It's pools, baby girl. Listen,
it's best of 3, honey.
It's